So it's time to fit some new seats to the F250. These, you can barely call them seats. They just fail on so many counts. But we've got some new Stratos seats going to be fitted in. And from what I've been told, these seats are very comfortable. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they perform, and they're a suspension seat as well. So I'm holding high hopes that these seats are going to absolutely solve the problems of comfort in the F250. Maybe that's a bit too much to ask. Let's get into it. So I've got one of the original seats out, and it's not a fair comparison, but hey, that's why we're doing the upgrade. So let's just see the differences between the Stratos seat and the factory seat. First up, the base squab, or squab, I think they call it a squab, the base anyway. It's got this support here where we've got absolutely none on the factory seat. So that right there is going to be nice. Now, I haven't driven in these seats yet, so I don't know exactly how I'm going to find it from a comfort perspective. I'm certainly hoping that this area here doesn't become uncomfortable, because when I'm sitting in the vehicle, naturally my legs sort of sit apart a little bit. So although that didn't support me here, it was kind of my natural seating position. So I'm just interested, but I'm interested to see where it goes. But that isn't very raised there. So there's a couple of advantages there. Firstly, it should be comfortable when I'm driving, which is the main priority, but getting in and out of the vehicle as well. I don't know if you've ever sat in a vehicle that has really high supports here. It can be quite difficult to get in and out of, especially if it's a raised four-wheel drive like the F-Truck is. And so that's where this seat kind of was easy to get in and out of. But these still have the support, but it's not massive. So I think that's going to be quite nice. I'm looking forward to going for a drive shortly, and we'll get you some footage of that, and I'll then give you my feedback on my initial thoughts. So that's the first thing. Now, the next thing is obviously we've got a lot more support in this area here. So, you know, not that we're cornering hard in the F-Truck, but when you're being moved around, especially off-road, you're going to have that support in the seat coming in there. The upper area here has got plenty of room for the shoulders as well. So obviously they're trying to accommodate a lot of different body shapes and that, but the moment you sit in the seat, you don't feel like you're crowded, at least me, and I'm 6 foot tall. As you can see here, we've really got nothing on this original seat that's going for it. We've got the air lumbar support, so as you pump this up, it pumps up an air bladder down in here, and that just allows you to get that comfortable space in your lower back, and then you can release the air with the push of a button. Now when these are installed, you can run this to a suitable place where it's not going to get pinched or jammed in the seat running mechanism, but you can run it somewhere where you can get to it nice and easily. Okay, so that's a nice feature, and they have an adjustable headrest, which is great for, you know, well, it just means that you can set the headrest so that if you have an accident, your head hits the headrest in the appropriate point. We've got absolutely nothing on the factory seat. So that's some of the nice features. Let me spin this around. I'll show you some of what's going on. Here's your tilt adjustment for the back. Just rotate that and the back adjusts. It seems to be able to adjust quite a long way forward as well. So obviously you're not going to sit like that, but there's some vehicles where you want to be able to access the rear of the seat. Then you've got this mechanism here, which is for designed to adjust for the weight of you, the driver, in the seat, or your passenger. Okay, so you just rotate this, and then it adjusts this bell crank here, adjusts the spring tension, and then we've got this little gas strut here. Now when you actually sit in the seat, you'll feel the seat sort of find its position, and that's what you're going to be adjusting here. Now once again, when I go for a drive, I'll work out exactly where I want this to be adjusted to. It's capable of up to 120 kilos in this configuration. Fortunately, I'm only 102 kilos, but I believe you can get these upgraded if you're a bit heavier build. So that's the mechanism at the back there that actually provides the suspension for the seat. I believe that's a patented system, which is really cool. So there is actually a cover that covers all of this mechanism so that you're not going to actually see this. I just took it off so that you could see it in the video. Now, if you've got a sore back or find that you're on a long trip, your back starts to ache, these contoured seats are going to be a lot better for you, and this adjustable lumbar support is going to mean that you can adjust the seat to suit you and make sure you're supporting your back correctly. But that suspension system is going to isolate you from a lot of the vibrations and the things that are making your back sore when you're out there on the road. So Stratos seats have been making seats here in Australia for 20 odd years, and they've really specialised into being pretty much the only company, to my knowledge, that manufactures a suspension seat that's going to suit pretty much any Land Cruiser out there on the market. Now you think some of those 75 series cruisers where, you know, the back of the cab's right here, you need a seat that's right at the back of the cabin if you're a bigger guy especially. So you need a suspension seat that's compact, and that's what Stratos really specialise in doing. Now obviously they make suspension seats that suit a wide variety of different vehicles out there on the market, from earth moving equipment right through to you know, your other four-wheel drives on the market, trucks and all of that sort of thing. So they're a good Australian company that manufacture a great product, and I'm really looking forward to supporting them by fitting these up to the F250 and seeing how they perform. And we'll probably give a long-term review in due course and tell you what we've learned about the seats over time. In the interest of disclosure, Stratos and I have done a bit of a barter thing, so we're going to do some work for them to create some content and help their company, you know, with some media content, and in exchange for the seats. So just so you know what's going on there. All right, so guys, we're going to get these seats fitted up. I'm looking forward to really checking them out. Make sure when you do get them installed, you get them installed by a licensed fitter and somebody who's qualified to do the job, so that you're all covered and legal. So there's lots of different options you can get with the seats. You can get turntable, so that you can spin the seat around like in a motorhome or something like that. You can get armrests as well, so you can spec them out that way, and you can get different materials. So all of the materials are good, hard-wearing, breathable type materials, so you're going to be comfortable in the seat. All right guys, well I'm going to go and get these fitted up to the Effie, and we'll let you know how they go, eh? So I've had the seats in for a couple of drives now, and what do I think? Well, they're a vast improvement on the old wooden boxes I had in here beforehand, I can tell you that. So a couple of things, I'm a lot more supported as you'd expect, and I'm part of the vehicle. I'm not isolated in my seat and wailing around all over the place. A couple of things I've noticed. How do you set the weight of the seat? I've got to talk to Stratos and find out the official method, but the method I've used at the moment is basically to pull myself up in the seat like that and then let myself fall. And I'm just falling a little bit. And when I've tried different sort of settings on the adjustment, that seems to give me the best ride, but I still got to play around with it, and like I say, I'll talk to Stratos. In this vehicle, because of the way it rides, when it moves sideways, I'm getting it thrown sideways like this a little bit, and a little bit of forward and back as well. But all of the up and down stuff is just really isolated. I took it for a little drive on a bit of corrugation road, and the vehicle was shaking and that, but the seat was isolating me from a lot of those corrugations as well. So all in all, the suspension system is very good. I'm very happy with that, and it's been a vast improvement in this vehicle, in the ride. I don't know if I've got Mrs. Mad Matt over the line yet, and whether she'll come on a trip with me. Ah dear, she'll come in the 105, but maybe not this yet. Anyway, just Google Stratos seating and you'll be able to check out their range, see what they've got for your vehicle, and how you can find a solution that'll make you a whole heap more comfortable than what you might be putting up with right now. All right guys, I hope that's been helpful. I'm Mad Matt. Stay safe on the trails.